Juan was so tired from the part-time job at the store. Fortunately, it ended early so that he could do his presentation in science, technology, and society subject. This really stresses Juan. He's going to do a presentation about the revolution of Meso America. He thought, why should he search about the past, and why can't people just move on and look forward? When he got home, he immediately started making his presentation. Reading articles about the past made Juan drowsy, so he slowly drifted to reality. Juan woke up and saw himself leaning on a colossal head statue. He immediately jumped from his place, startled. He looks around and tried to remember how he got onto that huge head. He can't see anyone. Juan looked again in the colossal head behind him. This looks like the colossal head I saw when I am searching about Olymp. The place looked deserted, a ruined city. He looked around the place. He saw a temple with a statue in the center and human bones and sacred site. Olmec had rich religion and must have practiced human sacrifice. Juan immediately got chills and went out in the temple. Olmec people were extremely talented artists and sculptors. Juan saw many statues, masks, figurines, and thrones. They also worked with woods. This amused Juan because people in this time don't have any tools to create this masterpiece compared in today's sculpture era. According to what Juan researched about Olmec, no one knows about what happened to the civilization after the decline of the major city at Levanta around 400 BC. Juan broke the reverie when he suddenly surrounded by a thick fog and made his vision unclear. Juan was anxious. He started to panic. He was about to shout when the fog slowly disappeared. Sight of people became visible to his vision. He looked around, confused. Where did these people came from? He thought. People are talking incomprehensible. People dress strangely. Their clothes are patterned. He looked around to see many pyramid-like buildings. He's like in a normal society, but different from what he grows in. He also had this feeling of familiarity from the structures and the people. They look so ancient. Juan think hard. He remembered what he researched earlier. Am I in Mayan civilization? Before he could answer his own question, he heard a group of men talking loudly in a tent-like place. He go near it. He saw someone holding a round thing with drawings in it. Wait, is that a Mayan's calendar? He thought again, and oh, it is. I am really in Mayan civilization. It seems like the group are talking about the dates. Mayan calendar uses a series of cycles based on sun, moon, and planets. However, the way that Mayan write the date looked different and a lot longer compared to how we read dates today. He moved on and strolled around the city. Those great structures must be made of stones. Some have decorations with intricate stone carvings, stone statues, and paint. They built great temples, palaces, and pyramids in their city centers. But he was abruptly stopped when his eyes caught something. A drawings in a stone. No, it's more like a script. I read it in one of the articles earlier. Mayans has a sophisticated writing system. It is composed of pictographs and ideograms, expressing more abstract concepts such as actions, ideas, and syllabic sounds. Juan said. They mostly write in stone, carvings, stucco, various manufactured artifacts, and codices. Oh no. Guess I know what gonna happen next, he thought.
As he woke up from that horrible dream while catching his breath, he slowly gets up from his bed and tries to calm down himself. After what happened in his dream, he now felt scared to go back to sleep. afraid that he might dream something weird again. He still fights his drowsiness while lying in his bed, but because he's already tired and it's still midnight, so he easily fell asleep. But luck was not really on his side, because after drifting back into a deep slumber, he saw himself again in a place that looks like a city, specifically in the market. He was walking in the market just the same with the people around him. Trying to figure out where he is, he tries to observe his surroundings. As he walks around the market, he saw ceramics such as pottery and other luxury goods that seemed to be highly priced export goods because of their elaborate decorations. And as he walks further, he noticed goods are coming into and out of the city that includes cotton, cacao, exotic feathers, and shells. Vegetables that are mainly sold are beans, avocados, peppers, and squash. He also thought that maybe city farmers raise chickens and turkeys, for it is also sold in the market. The city also contains large structures, so even if he was still in the market, the structures were visible to him even from afar. The structures were mainly pyramids, plazas, temples, and palaces of nobles and priests. And seeing the structures in the city reminded him of the presentation that he prepared for the essay subject wherein, after the Mayan civilization in Meso America, there is a city that is called Teotihuacan. He then thought, at last, I was able to figure out where I was. The scary feeling that he has vanished and instantly replaced by excitement, as he thought that he will be able to explore a place that became the most powerful and influential city in the region in 400 AD. It is the Teotihuacan civilization. Just the thought of it makes him giddy and overly excited. He then decided to start his exploration in the city by going outside the market. There he saw the avenue that they called the Avenue of the Dead. The long road is oriented slightly east of true north and points directly at the nearby sacred peak of Cerro Gordo, which is an extinct volcano. The road going to the northern end must be the Pyramid of the Moon, which is the second largest structure in the city, and the Pyramid of the Sun, which is situated in the south, is the largest structure in the city, he pointed out. From the south end of the Avenue of the Dead, there he saw a courtyard that contains multiple elite residential complexes and thought that it must be the Ciudadela, and the temple of Quetzalcoatl that dominated it, which is a kind of truncated pyramid that is adorned with numerous stone heads of the feathered serpent deity. Thinking about the serpent deity reminded him that Teotihuacan has a polytheistic religion, which means that they have different gods and goddesses, with the primary deity being the great goddess of Teotihuacan, which is depicted as a spider goddess. Thinking about the different gods and goddesses that they have makes him curious on what they really do during their worship. So, to fill in his curiosity, he tried to go inside in one of the temples, and to his horror, he saw animals like wolves, coyotes, jaguar, puma, and eagles being sacrificed to what they called God. There are also people being held captive aside from the animals, and looks like they are being sacrificed too. The excitement that he felt has gone and was replaced by fear and shock that he couldn't say something. But before the people gets killed, he gathered all his remaining strength and shouted, "Stop!" But he eventually woke up from the terrifying and horrible dream, catching his breath again.
Then there came a massive wave of sandstorm. Juan hid behind a large post for protection, and before he knew it, he was again at a different place and at a different time. Juan saw himself floating above a large body of fresh water surrounded by many mountains, and at the center was an island called the City of Tenochtitlan. He saw people with different language this time, and they called themselves Calhua Mexica. Based on his research, Juan remembered it as the Aztec civilization. Juan was amazed on what he saw. The Aztec agriculture was astounding. They were able to separate fresh water from salt water, which allowed them to practice intensive lake marsh agriculture. He saw how the Mexicas created their canals, floodgates, and aqueducts. Juan also noted how smart these people were, because building a large temple near a lake requires a lot of engineering and understanding of hydraulic systems. He also noticed that unlike Mayans, Aztec people built their temples based on the setting of the sun and not the planet Venus. Juan went down and took a stroll around the place. As he was looking around, he saw a place that seems like a clinic. But as he took a closer look, he realized it was a small laboratory. He went in and saw how wealthy these Aztec people were when it comes to botanical and medical knowledge. The room was filled with plants and small animals. Then a thought came to him. Aztec men believed in a complicated humoral system that links plants, animals, and human body to the heavens. And not just that, Aztec healers seem to have been specialists. They seem to focus on surgeries, bloodletting, childbirth, or treating sick turkeys. They are also fond of creating herbal drugs. Juan lost himself in wonder as he gathered more information and knowledge about these Aztec healers, and didn't notice someone went in. He hurriedly ran fast towards the exit and slipped. He got up and ran again, but then everything around him looked peculiar. He wasn't at the lake anymore. Instead, he was surrounded by mountains. There were no water. The lake was gone. Juan got confused and stopped running. He looked around and then realized he was again in a different civilization, the Inca. He was at the city of Machu Picchu. He recalled his research and remembered that Inca civilization built their empire at the Andes Mountains in Peru. Juan wandered around and saw that their infrastructures were perfectly fitted together. To think that they only used stones to build it. Like the other civilizations, Incas also have medical specialists, astronomical and calendaric data recorded into very architecture of their cities. However, there is one thing that Juan noticed. They don't have writing systems. Juan searched for more information and found a rope that was oddly knotted. That's when Juan remembered the sophisticated tying of strings. It is called the quipu. Inca people used quipu to keep records which they used for data taxes, calendar, and even military organizations.